They say God is perfect. They say he's timeless. And they say he created everything. But if you actually think about those three claims, perfection, timelessness, and creation, they can't all be true at the same time. Because each one contradicts the others in a way that makes the whole system fall apart. Let's start with perfection. What does that even mean? It means complete, flawless, lacking nothing. It means no need, no change, no improvement. Because the moment something changes, it moves away from what it was. And if it was already perfect, then any change is a downgrade. So a perfect being cannot change. Not in mood, not in will, not in action, and not in relationship to the universe. That includes going from not creating to creating. That's a shift in purpose. That's a change in state. And that breaks perfection. But it also requires something else: time. Any action, any decision, any moment of before followed by an after. All of that requires time. A sequence, a process, a timeline. So if God is timeless, there is no sequence. Oh, no steps, no moments, no causality. Because in a truly timeless state, nothing happens. You can't make a decision in eternity. You can't create in a state where time doesn't exist. The idea collapses on itself. Because if God created time, then time didn't exist before he acted. Which means he had no moment to act in. No moment to decide. No moment at all. And here's where it breaks wide open. If God is perfect, he can't change. If God is timeless, he can't act. But if God created the universe, he did both. That's not a contradiction you can resolve by calling it a mystery. It's a paradox that rips the whole framework apart. A perfect, timeless creator isn't just unlikely, it's logically impossible. Now, apologists will push back hard. They'll say God exists outside of time but can enter time to act. But to enter time is to change. It's movement, transition. That means a before and after. That means time. So now he's no longer timeless. Or they'll say God created the universe in a single timeless act. But if creation is part of God's unchanging nature, then the universe was never a choice. It was never a decision. It just always existed. And if it always existed as part of God's nature, then congratulations, you've just described pantheism. The universe is God, which is not what most Christians are signing up for. And when all else fails, they'll say, well, God transcends logic. But if logic doesn't apply to God, then stop using words. Because now, God is good doesn't mean anything. God is real doesn't mean anything. You've erased your own theology by escaping into incoherence. You can't use logic to build the idea of God and then throw logic away when it breaks. That's not faith. That's surrender. So let's recap. If God is perfect, he cannot change. If he's timeless, he cannot act. If he created the universe, he changed and he acted. You can pick two, not three. The moment you try to keep all three, the idea implodes. You don't have a coherent God. You have a philosophical contradiction that's being worshipped because no one wants to let go. So what do you drop? Perfection? Timelessness? Creation? One of them has to go, because keeping all three isn't theology, it's intellectual gymnastics. And eventually, the rope snaps. Thanks for watching. See you next time.